Welcome to the Digital Marketing Insights podcast, brought to you by Brightside Digital.
Hi everyone, welcome to the show. I'm really excited and delighted to say we have Sefian on the show today, who's a cinematographer. Sefian, how you doing?
How's it going, Tom? Hope you're keeping well. I hope you're...
Yeah, I'm great, buddy. Yeah, no, and listen, thanks so much for doing the show. Sefian, can we start off by you telling everyone a little bit about yourself and your career to date, please?
Right. So, my name is Sefian Abdelwahab, and I'm initially a cinematographer and basically majoring in the arts of content creating and visual art, turning visual art into reality. So I feel like that's kind of like my perspective of what I'm doing at the moment. And how I got into this was basically through just picking up a camera since 2007, and it wasn't initially to shoot or to become a very good videographer, but it was just to record and document a few things that me and my friends were doing. I love doing parkour, if you've heard of it, Tom. Yeah,
Yeah, I have,
so
yeah.
I was very good at it, and I had a team, and we wanted to have something that would be documented, because we told ourselves, okay, look, we don't have anything to look back into when we grow old, so we need someone with a camera. So okay, let me just pick up something and just start shooting most of our stuff, and maybe try to put in a bit of edit here and there. So it started off by that, and one time when I was doing that, I got a friend who was working at the gym, and he wanted to record a competition that the teammates were going to do outside of the country. And when they did that, they took the footage and they brought it back to me after the competition. So I just did it for fun, just edited it up and just put it together. And it was done really well. But compared to now, I could look back and be like, okay, look, it wasn't even the best of work, but it was the best of my abilities. After going to the gym to sign up for my membership, the receptionist asked me to not pay for that because I got a free membership for a year. Because the owners of the gym actually really liked the video, and by them promoting it, they were able to get more clients, and it helped them kind of achieve a more client intel and stuff like that, and spread the word about the gym that was opening. So I really loved it, and I didn't know at that time you can use something like this for your advantage, or to get um, to get profit from it, or to gain something from it. So from there, I started diving deeper into the media world from there. So that's kind of how it all started for me.
Love it. And so it's clear videography is your main area, being behind the camera, creating great videos. How do you go about pursuing that as a career? Can you give me an example of like some of your success stories, any work that you're really proud of away from the gym story you just mentioned?
Right. So when it comes to having success stories, it's not something that it will be like a very it's not a story that I want to just present as the best of my work, but it's a story that I have done is when I was in Ireland and I decided to do my first wedding video, for example. That was at the time when I was in college. And while I was in college, I didn't have the best of equipment, obviously low budget camera work. I decided to take a client on to do a wedding video for when I promised them to take a video, a cinematic video, and photography as well. So right now, I was looking for the photographer. So I was like, look, I can't do everything on my own. You have to have. It's better to have two people for a two people job instead of one person. Even though you can do it solo, but it's best to have someone else with you. So I decided to ask most of my colleagues about, okay, would you be interested in being just picking up the camera, being a camera person around there, just taking photos, no need to do extra stuff, just take a few photos. Most of my colleagues were actually very, very skeptical and scared, because who wants to ruin a person's wedding video? That was all of their answers. And I couldn't comprehend that because I told them, look, you are going to get paid for it, so don't even worry about it. But they were more scared about how the thing is going to turn out. But after that, I just took it upon myself. Look, you only do things once, and if I fail, look, I fail, but at least I learned from it. So I rented a camera from one of my friends. So actually, I borrowed it from one of my friends, and I told him, look, I just need it for one day, and I could just use it. So I went into the wedding with two cameras hanging around my neck. One had a tripod attached to it, and people just looking at me like, what's this guy doing? So I started taking videos with one camera, taking while that one is recording, I shoot photos with the other one, and then I go back and forth, running back and forth. So the whole wedding was just me running back and forth. And what the reason why I say this as a success story is because me coming into it, it was coming in from being okay. I was nervous the day before, but then I decided, look, you're only gonna live once, and obviously, if you fail, you're gonna be failing countless times. But the best thing about failing is learning from those mistakes. So me deciding to go about it and just doing it was the most successful thing I've ever done because it actually push started my career and also gave me the motivation to push further because by the end of all of that, it was one of the best things I've ever done. The content that I've made from that was amazing. The clients loved every single part of it. And just hearing that from them, hearing that message that says, okay, look, we've got the footage, and we were literally crying watching the footage over and over again. That was just enough for me to say, look, that's kind of one of my best success stories out there, you know.
Yeah, love
Mm,
that, love
mm,
that. And
mm.
Sefian, I've seen obviously you went to college, you've got a degree in media, and you've done video film production and stuff in
Yeah,
there. And I also saw obviously you operate with Adobe Premiere
yeah,
Pro. But can you tell me what softwares, or if you still use Premiere Pro, or how do you go about the editing and the creation of videos once you've recorded on a shoot, let's say, or on a day?
right. So yeah, I usually use Premiere Pro because it's not the first program that I started with, but it's the one that I went up to and just stopped right there because it's the most comfortable to me. And I was very, very. I love the interface of the Premiere Pro. It could be used professionally and for a beginner, but for a beginner, you have to have patience with it. So while using Premiere Pro, you have the ability to create double timelines, which can be very, very confusing for a beginner. But as you go on and learn more about it, it gets more comfortable. Other softwares that I use are DaVinci Resolve, which is the best for coloring. I normally try to color grade and instead of just adding lots to my videos because if you have the ability to learn while doing something, you might as well take that chance because you won't get that chance in the future. Because if you get really busy after that, you won't be able to have the ability to sit down and learn, while you're busy. So DaVinci Resolve, Premiere Pro are the most software that I use. And the reason why I mentioned DaVinci Resolve is DaVinci Resolve can be simple and also can be very placed at an expert level when it comes to coloring. So you can start from level 0 all the way to level 100 when it comes to these softwares.
Love it. And once you've packaged it all
Mm,
up and you actually put it out there, I'm assuming you've used social media in different formats to put your videos and work in. Is there anything you can highlight there? Is there any preferences? Is there any styles? Or let's say businesses listen to the show, how could they use
mm.
your services? How could you aid their businesses?
Right. So my whole aim is when I approach a client or a client approaches me, is to actually just sit down with them and just we have to reach a solution at the end of the day. You cannot just go by, okay, I can provide something for you. I can do for you a certain edit and just give you the video and then do whatever you want with it. That's good at a certain point, but it won't take you far because the reason why the person came to you or the company came to you is they want a solution for them to expand or for them to reach more audience, to reach their target audience. So you have to get into basically a solution at the end of the day by saying, look, what do you exactly need or what do you want? A client could say, look, I want a 3-minute video for my advertising my company or my brand, then you might ask him, what would you put in this whole 3-minute video? The first thing that they wouldn't have a clue. They want you to do that. So that's where you come in. You give them to suggest. You basically give them the menu of what they can choose from. By giving them a solution, meaning that, okay, you don't need a 3-minute video. You just need a 1-minute video. Because you look at the market nowadays, people have a very, very short attention span. They won't watch something for a whole 3 minute and be excited to just pursue it. They could watch something for a minute and, okay, they want to see more. So that's why you have to pique curiosity when it comes to these type of things. When they want to see more, then they would go into your website, then into your accounts to see what's going on. And when after coming back to your question there, Tom, after finishing my product and after finalizing the edits and everything, you have to create a bit of with the footage that you have, a lot of quantity footage, instead of just having one quality footage that can be shown over and over again. You have to give so much quantity for that. That comes to using different type of social media, Facebook, Instagram, mostly used nowadays, and Twitter. Different formats such as a 16 by 9 or 9 by 16, which can be used open on the phone. So different formats react with different people. So this is kind of something that I would put out there. When it comes to distributing your contents, you have to focus on quality more than quantity.
Yeah, really well said. Really well said. And away from your strengths at the moment, Sefian, is there any particular areas you're looking to upskill into and why?
Right. Areas that I'd say to upskill myself is mostly the business side of the media, the content creating itself. Cinematography, the business side. You can
Yeah.
you can be the best what's it called, editor. You can be the best cameraman. You can be the best sound engineer or whatever. But there's always someone who's better than you. But the thing is, the most important is, how are you able to sell that certain, camera angles that you always use. That's the kind of most important things when it comes to media. Closing the client. Let them know that you're in good hands. When you're coming to me and just telling them, look, I'm actually able to do the thing for you that you want me to do. Instead of me suggesting you, okay, you know what, you have to do that, you have to do that, but having the ability to um, close a client and basically helping them understand what I'm doing. I think that's the thing that I want to upskill it at more, and just basically closing them down and turning my passion into profit, basically.
Brilliant.
And the editing side, the technical side, basically it comes on the way. So I can buy someone who's really good at photography. I can buy someone who's very good at videography, but I can't buy someone who strategizes really well, to create a certain plan and execute it so well, which everyone is pleased about.
Really well said. And looking for new insights, how do you expand yourself, Safian, in videography? Where do you go for your sources to learn more about the industry?
So when it comes to like the insights, I look at mostly trends and occupations and just brands. The reason why I mentioned trend is you have to study a market in a way where it's like how a boxer is studying his competitor. So when a boxer studies his competitor, he learns there are certain movements that happen during certain times, or when he gets tired, or when he moves a certain way, or when he moves really fast. So it goes the same way with the market. You know, um, if you break down the year, you have January, you have the middle of the year, and then you have the rest of the year. So January usually is the new year, new me. I think you've heard of that, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so new year, new me. Everyone loves going to the gym. Everyone, wants to change their lifestyle, get into diet, do whatever, all of that. In that month, usually, influencers who promote fitness are more likely to promote their work on social media. So that's when you target these type of people. You target the influencers. You push that content more out there because people are more likely to see videos and react videos of, okay, you need to change your body now. You need to do this from the beginning of the year because I'm in that mood already. I might as well go for it. Pay my full membership and stuff like that. Middle of the year, people are mostly getting married. And we know that because it's very nice weather, summer, and it's just the sun is shining. So that's where you target people that are getting married. You promote more wedding videos out there. And when it comes to corporate, and then the rest of the year, you mostly work on corporate videos because most of the corporate companies are basically in competition with each other 24/7. One of them has to win. So if you have a communication company from here, there's another communication company who's doing better but promoting more content, and the other one is not. So that one is looking to promote more content, so they'll be looking for the best one out there to be pushing more content.
Love it. And looking at the video industry as a whole, is there anything that
Yeah.
really excites you that might be coming up in the industry? What's pushing the industry at the moment?
Um, I won't say exactly excite because it's we're at a time where everything is kind of controlled by media, and for you to put something out there, it has to be valuable or spreading awareness, or it should be telling the truth. Because in a world where it's controlled by media, you have this huge bundle of overwhelming information where the truth is nowhere to be found. It's just full on information. And one thing is I want to kind of like focus on, or basically when it comes to something like that, is to push into the media with passion, because you cannot do something for by seeing the outside benefits. Outside benefit basically, if you do something and your rewards are just or in your head is just to gain money from it or to gain profit from it, that could not be your certain type of motivation for the long term. It could stop at a certain point because you've reached a point where you cannot do any more, or you're not seeing the same results as you're seeing at the beginning. So that's why you are forced to stop or to slow down or to just dismantle it completely. But if the motivation is coming from the inside with passion, that kind of pushes you more to do things and to evolve, to get better, to learn from your mistakes, to do things in a better way that will not just make you profit, but also benefit, the community and the society as well.
The full answer. And Safian, like I'm conscious you know so much about video and the impact of video. And I want to ask one question before the last question around the attachment with social media. If you were a business listener now and you had someone like yourself or someone that could produce high level video within the business or externally, what platforms and what strategies would you recommend people to distribute out and get their video out there? How would you go about doing that?
Right. So you're basically saying that if I'm speaking from a company perspective, is it?
Yeah, please.
Right. So when it comes to something like that, you would have to focus on a lot of quantity, because the more quantity, the more things that you have to push certain videos out there. You're more likely to catch the eye of a person a lot faster than someone who's producing just a quality type video which can be shown one time. Reason for me saying that is, for example, if I go into a store or any place in order to purchase something, and then I purchase something else. The reason why I purchase something else is because it's not because I love that specific thing. It's because I'm seeing it over and over and over again. That's the same thing that's happening with YouTube right now. We don't normally go on look for things because we want them. It's because we've been seeing them over and over again. That's why we were forced to, like, okay, you know what, this actually might be something I might use, even though I have no use for it. I might use, this is something that I would tell every single business to do out there, is just to produce more quantity of things, and have things just pushed out there as much as you can. Whether it's be the smallest, simplest thing, whether it could be a few seconds video, and introducing or introduction to what they do, very, very short and brief, because we reach an age where it's I'd say emotionless content. That's what I want to word, emotionless content. So it doesn't have any emotion over it, but it's shown to you countless times.
Love it. Love it.
Mm.
And lastly, we always ask this question on the show,
Mm.
Sefian, which is, if you could bottle up one personality trait you have yourself that you could pass on to
Mm.
others, what would it be?
Um, I think have passion for what you do. I think that's kind of like and just be very, very organized with how you do it. If you have a certain structure that you go by when it comes to doing a certain, it shouldn't just only be media, but anything else. A certain structure that you go by. Stick to your rules and don't change the rules completely. If the rules have been working for you for the past year or two, stick to those rules and make them better, or even do more of those rules. Because if you decide to just change the whole script and want to use another person's script, sometimes it won't work. So I'd say a personality trait that I have and I wanted to pass on to others would be just have passion for what you do exactly, whether you're an editor, videographer, or a sound engineer. Having passion for that pushes you way ahead of time.
Love it. Love it. That's it. Safian, if people want to reach out to you, how can they get in touch with you?
Right. So I have a website called Eye Behind the Camera. So eyebehindcamera.com. And you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook as well. So yeah, feel free to reach out if you need any content. You would have my content on the website as well. Feel free to look at that. And on the beginning of February, I'll be coming back full on when it comes to cinematography with more content that I've shot throughout last year. And yeah, just can't wait to take over.
Love it. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for being on the show, buddy.
Thank you so much, Tom.